ready to go? Are we getting ready to go into wrestling overload? Hello, everybody. This is John. It is Wrestlescope TV. Give me a second here as I'm going to need to adjust something. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I won't need to. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Yep. Need to do it again. Sorry about that, folks. It is Wrestlescope TV. I am John, trying to figure out why I'm getting audio issues here. There we go. We're going to get it taken care of. It is Wrestlescope TV. Thank you very much for tuning in today. This is going to be a full show. Going to be a full show. Lots of things to talk about. I'm going to apologize about the lighting in here. I'm still working on the lighting issues here. Might have to bring in somebody to help me out with it. But lots of things to talk about this week in the world of professional wrestling. So many things to get into. I guess we will go ahead and start with, let's start with make sure you are subscribing to this channel. If you happen to be finding me right now, subscribe, like this video because it really helps with the analytics here on YouTube, and definitely share this with your friends. If they like wrestling talk, this is definitely something that they want to get into. And also hit the notification bell. You will find out every time that Wrestlescope will be on. I'm working on getting more content on during the week, not just the weekend show. I will get into that at the very end of the show. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And I've actually got a couple of things I want to plug at the end of the show as well. I do have to recognize our sponsor, and because of my mic screen, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but we'll do this. We've got Iron Jock. That's right. IronJOC.com. You can check them out. They have a brand new line of the antimicrobial, absolutely fantastic sweat wicking, 4-layered, super weaved, fantastic non-stink technology workout gear that they have. They've just rolled out some golf gear, the brand new hats. I've got one of them right here. They've got the hoodie that I proudly wear all the time. So many different things: underwear, socks, long sleeve tees, t-shirts. They've got the golf gear that's coming out. They just rolled out a whole bunch of new things, and you can check them out on their website at ironjoc.com. And they have a deal going on right now. You could get a hoodie like the one I'm wearing right now and the new hat. Woo, there we go. There's the hat. Get that turned the right way for $60. You get both of them for $60. No special coupon codes, nothing else. Good until April 4th on their website only, ironjoc.com. And they just announced this week they've been getting just a ton of people asking them for women's stuff. And the women's stuff is going to be rolling out very soon. They're working on that. Some great things. I understand it's going to be leggings and sports bras for the ladies. So that's going to be coming up very soon as well. There we go on the ticker below. Give a like, subscribe, and a notification bell. And also don't forget, follow us on all of our social media, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. TikTok is where I am most of the time, doing a lot of different things during the day. So if you want to get caught up on that, you can. Please go ahead, leave your comments in the chat. I will get to them when I can. We are not at a level quite yet to be able to do super chats. So your chats are free. Your comments are free. Go ahead and throw those in. We'll get to those in a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about the wrestling overload right now. So it was just announced this week that Impact Wrestling, as of April 8th, is going to be moving to Thursday nights. So we have Raw, which is the Monday night mainstay, and we also have AEW Dark Elevation on YouTube on Monday nights. Tuesday night, we have NWA Power, and we also have NXT that is going to be moving to Tuesday nights immediately following WrestleMania, though surprisingly still no official announcement on that, but it really sounds like it's heading in that direction. Wednesday nights, we have AEW Dynamite. Thursday night, we're going to have Impact Wrestling. Friday night, we have SmackDown. So if you are a wrestling fan, a hardcore wrestling fan, you're going to have 5 days a week of wrestling. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know how I'm going to stay caught up with it. I'm having a hard enough time already. Impact, I really, I try catching the tail ends on Tuesday night right now of what they do on Twitch, but it's really difficult. It really is. It's really hard to stay up to date on everything that's going on with them. Um, both of the Darks. I forgot to mention AEW Dark on Tuesday nights as well. Dark Elevation and Dark, I typically end up watching the next day at work. I'm fortunate that I have a job where I can have YouTube on all day long and kind of back and forth watch things. This is not my full wrestling talk is not my full-time gig. I wish it was, but it's not. I do have a full-time job outside of what I do with this and on social media. So I have to find the time. Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, I'm headlong into it. It's going to be difficult. It really is going to be difficult. And I put the question out on my TikTok a couple of days ago when this announcement came out. And the main consensus was either viewing habits are not going to change, or people are going to be watching replays or edited replays of things because it's just too much. We've been clamoring as wrestling fans for more content, more non-WWE content for years. Ever since, and we're celebrating the 20-year anniversary this weekend of WWE buying WCW. So we saw the ending of the massive Monday Night War. We did see TNA come around, and we had a little bit of a battle going on there. But now with AEW, but now it's gotten to the point where we've got so much out there, and with the return of NWA now, there's a lot of content out there, and we're going to see not this coming week, but WrestleMania week, just how crazy it's going to be, because we're going to have Monday Night Raw and Dark Elevation. Tuesday night, we're going to have the WWE Hall of Fame and AEW Dark. Wednesday night is going to be AEW Dynamite and night 1 of NXT Takeover-Stand and Deliver. Thursday, night 2 of NXT Stand and Deliver and Impact Wrestling. Friday night is going to be SmackDown, which I'm going to talk about WrestleMania week Raw and SmackDown in a minute. AEW has also announced they are going to have a house show, a non-televised show on that Friday night at Daly's Place. And then obviously Saturday, Sunday, we have WrestleMania's night 1 and 2. And then we get right into the full week of absolute craziness post-WrestleMania. Speaking of pre-WrestleMania, it has been announced that because of Tropicana Field and WWE needing to move Thunderdome out of Tropicana Field, they are actually going to be pre-taping the go-home shows of Raw and SmackDown. So that would be the April, let me get the dates right. I believe it would be the April 4th and April 9th editions of Raw and SmackDown, whatever that Monday and Friday is, will be pre-taped. That's going to be taped actually, I believe it's this coming week. Raw is going to be taped, and SmackDown, I think I have to double check the dates. If anybody in the chat happens to remember what the dates are, we now know that. So it's very interesting times here in wrestling for fans. I get this funny feeling that we are within 6 to 9 months time, we are going to see somebody end up dropping off here. Or changes being made because there's too much content out there now. And it's really hard to believe that as a wrestling fan, that's being said. Really, that's being said. I'm excited for it, but I'm apprehensive because, again, this not being my full-time job, it's going to be really hard to stay caught up on all this stuff. And how people like Sean Ross Sapp and the folks at Fightful, Alex McCarthy and the people over at TalkSport, Luke Ollie and the whole gang over at Wrestle Talk, and anybody else, Denise Salcedo, Steph Chase, Louis Dangor, True Heel Heat, SP3 and all those guys, and anybody else, Cultaholic, What Culture, just anybody that's out there talking wrestling, how they're going to keep up with all of this. It's absolutely crazy. Well, we are 13 days away from WrestleMania, and finally, the WrestleMania card is starting to shape up. We knew a few things that were coming. We knew about Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. We knew about Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. We knew a couple of other things. We had heard about Braun and Shane and a few other things. This past Monday night, Asuka is going to be taking on Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. We know that it's going to be AJ Styles and Omos against the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships. But it has been a week of more and more different matches thrown in our direction to fill out the 2 nights of the WrestleMania card. And we ended up finding out last night on SmackDown some more things that are going to be happening. These had all been rumored matches. Big E defending the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Again, we saw that match at Fastlane. We knew it was going to be Roman versus Edge for the Universal title, but based on what happened last Sunday at Fastlane, Daniel Bryan has now been added into the mix, and it is a triple threat. And WWE did a fantastic job last night of really making it an entire show based around Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, and not beating us over the head with it. We opened the show with Daniel Bryan in the ring, and we saw the video package of the very light tap that Roman Reigns did. And Roman could have easily gotten out of that saying he wasn't tapping. He was reaching for Daniel Bryan's hand, and it wasn't a tap. But nonetheless, the narrative has been played that Roman Reigns tapped out. He's never tapped out to anybody else. Edge getting involved with the chair after the mishap with Daniel Bryan trying to hit Roman with the chair, but he hit Edge. And then Roman getting the pin and winning the match. But Daniel Bryan having really justification for saying that, he should be the Universal Champion. He really should be. And he should get another opportunity. And we've seen the return of heel Edge, and some of what he said, and Pete Quinnell from Wrestle Talk said this perfectly, that I'm kind of paraphrasing for him, that Edge has kind of forgotten the story here of, Daniel Bryan has earned an opportunity, and Edge did earn an opportunity, and I'm misquoting him here. You'll definitely want to check out, if you want to hear what Pete had to say. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Check out his Wrestle Talk review today on Wrestle Talk's channel. Once you're done watching me, obviously, don't leave now. Stick around here and watch this first, and head on over there. But Edge speaking was a little muddled. It really was. Didn't make a lot of sense. But Daniel Bryan had a great point, and obviously you've got Roman Reigns as the tribal chief heel champion that, well, I'm not going to do more than I need to. I'm only facing one guy. I'm only wrestling one night. You're not getting me both nights. You got me for the match that was announced. And Adam Pearce, the not quite general manager, authority figure, yes, I'm here, I can make decisions guy, ended up saying, yeah, basically, you guys all have good points, but at the end of the show, I'm going to let you know what I'm going to do here. And they all kind of lobbied for their own thing. The basic narrative of it all was Adam Pearce needed to make the right decision. And that's what Roman said. That's what Edge said. That's what Daniel Bryan said, but all in different ways. And I like the fact that they did make it a triple threat. I like the fact that they're not making Daniel Bryan earn his way into a triple threat match. That, yeah, he did kind of get screwed out of the championship. Yeah, when he did earn the right at Elimination Chamber, he had to wrestle immediately after 40 minutes in the Elimination Chamber, which was kind of unfair. Edge still has his chance because he won a title shot. Not a one-on-one opportunity with Roman Reigns. He earned a title shot. And, Roman, being Roman, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm the champion, and now I got to face two guys. And Edge brought up a great point. Daniel Bryan's in there. I don't have to beat you for the title. all I got to do is beat him. So the champion is kind of behind the 8 ball here in the triple threat match. We did see also, it was announced that we're going to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which is great for these two guys because, their longstanding friendship and on-air rivalry. And it's been the dream of the two of these guys to be in a match together at WrestleMania. They've never had the one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and they finally get it. It was kind of a quick build to this story, which is a shame. But I like the fact that they're going to get to do it. And these two guys are going to be fantastic together. They really, truly are going to be fantastic together. The other two that could steal the show, another pair of former Ring of Honor guys, just like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, is Seth Rollins and Cesaro. These two are going to have a matchup, a singles matchup at WrestleMania. And I saw, I don't remember who it was that tweeted it. It was a great picture of Sammy and Kevin together in Ring of Honor when it was Kevin Steen and El Generico, and then Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, and Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, in Ring of Honor. And now all four of these guys, singles matches against each other at WrestleMania, is really cool. It is really cool. We also got announced this week back on Raw. It's going to be Bad Bunny versus The Miz. That was originally supposed to be a tag team match with Damian Priest tagging with Bad Bunny, taking on Miz and Morrison. But Morrison right now is down with a knee injury. Now, it could change. We have 2 weeks until WrestleMania. John Morrison could get cleared. It could change. Not overly confident on that right now. Like they always say, a card subject to change. I did mention the Asuka Rhea Ripley match, and that kind of came out of nowhere because Charlotte Flair is MIA right now. It was announced a little over a week ago, or was it? No, it was earlier this week actually, that she has been dealing with COVID. She tested positive for COVID-19. So she didn't say when she tested positive. She is recovering from it. And her dad, Ric Flair, basically said that she was out of WrestleMania. Now, Andrade, her fiance, stated a couple of days ago that she was going to be at SmackDown this week. Well, she didn't appear on TV, and according to Wrestling Observer, she was not at SmackDown yesterday. She was not backstage at SmackDown. Anything can happen in the next 2 weeks, but it sounds like Wrestle Talk was reporting today that Charlotte is going to move over to SmackDown. Now, that might be just to add a little bit more star power over there, get her away from Rhea Ripley. Not really sure. If she does go to SmackDown, is she going to get involved in the Bianca-Sasha match? I hope not. Or there is the potential that we could see Charlotte versus Bayley at WrestleMania. And how that would work out, we really haven't seen much of Bayley in the last couple of weeks. We haven't seen her. Actually, I think the last time we saw her was Fastlane during her Ding Dong Hello segment. And we could end up with a Bayley Ding Dong Hello segment at one of the nights of WrestleMania. And the way I would write it is, she's talking about how great she is, the fact that she's so good that there's nobody here to challenge her. The champions are all afraid of her. Well, Sasha obviously has her own deal with Bianca. Asuka was too afraid of her. There's nobody else that wants to challenge her. She is the greatest women's wrestler in WWE. And all of a sudden the music hits and there's Charlotte Flair, her old buddy Charlotte Flair. Her old 4 horsewomen friend, Charlotte Flair, comes down to the ring and they talk and they chit chat and everything else. And Charlotte's like, well, you know what? You're talking about how great you are and you don't have anybody to challenge you. And guess what? I don't have anybody either. So how about you and me, one-on-one, go at it tonight? I'd be okay with that. I would be perfectly fine with Charlotte and Bayley at WrestleMania, because we all know how well those two work. And we all know those two would put on an absolutely fantastic match. So I'd be okay with it. Charlotte is not involved in a championship match at WrestleMania, which is good. and her and Bayley can just really have a cracking women's match. I'm okay with that. This is a perfect time for us to transition right now. And I know I may have missed a few things with WrestleMania. We'll talk more next week as the card ends to flush itself out. I want to talk about women's divisions, and I'm not going to include WWE's main roster women's division because, quite honestly, I think the women's divisions on SmackDown and Raw, including the tag team championship picture, are a hot mess right now. I talked about this last week on the show. They are a mess. But what I want to talk about in comparison is AEW and NXT. And please leave your comments for me. If you're watching this on replay, I will be responding to all the comments in here. But which of these two women's divisions do you think are better right now? AEW coming off of what was a phenomenal week a week and a half ago. The entire wrestling world talking about Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa and the unsanctioned match. I want to go back and watch that match again because it was so good. And Britt Baker following up this week with just an absolutely phenomenal promo. And it wasn't an over long promo. Actually, that's going to be a John hot take. Maybe not this week, but maybe next week on length of promos and how long is too long on a promo. Anyways, Britt Baker's promo this last Wednesday was absolutely fantastic, talking about how Mick Foley, it took him 20 years to become a hardcore legend. She did it in one night. How Tony Khan has been going and getting all these legends and everything else to fill out the roster when he's got a legend right underneath his nose. Just absolutely beautiful promo. Beautiful promo. But the AEW's women's division in 2020, AEW's women's division was struggling. They really were. They weren't booking them right. Things just, they had talent, but things weren't looking good. The calendar flips to 2021 and it's changed. And I've been absolutely amazed with what they're doing with the women's division. From Hikaru Shida to Britt Baker to Thunder Rosa. Then you've got the likes of Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Ty Conti, Layla Hirsch. The list goes on and on of some amazing women that they have on this roster that they're bringing in, and the matches are fantastic. Ryu Mizunami from Japan. I don't know how long she's in America for. She's putting on fantastic matches. It's been incredible what they've been able to do over the last couple of months. On the NXT side, obviously Io Shirai is leading the way for that women's division. You have Dakota Kai, you have Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Raquel Gonzalez, Mercedes Martinez, just a lot of absolutely fantastic talent there. Zoe Stark, an up-and-comer, has been doing fantastic as well. Top to bottom, these two women's divisions are fantastic. I think I'd have to give the edge just based off of experience to AEW, but it's really hard not to give hats off right now to NXT's women's division because it really is set up well for the future. They've brought in, Ty Valkyrie. We should be seeing her very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Ty Valkyrie appear at NXT Takeover-Stand and Deliver. I think what's going to end up happening, and this is an early prediction here, Raquel Gonzalez is going to defeat Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai is going to get called up to the main roster. And immediately following the match, I don't think they're going to do sitting in the crowd, here's the newest signee. I think Taya Valkyrie is going to come out and is going to get right in the face of Raquel Gonzalez. How cool of a moment would that be? Brian, let's see if I can, hold on. I haven't tested this out yet. Let's see if I can do it. Every time Britt is on, I make sure to brush my teeth afterwards. That's a good. I finally figured out how to do that. I've seen Alex McCarthy do this on his shows, and now I know how to do it. Yes. Yes, I'm so happy with myself. See, I could get your comments on. You get the freebies. You get the freebies here on Wrestlescope Weekly. Oh my goodness, yeah, having way too much fun. But again, I think I would have to give the edge here to AEW just um because of the experience level. But NXT, man, they've got a lot of great women's talent and even more coming in. But yeah, I would love to see Taya Valkyrie challenge Raquel Gonzalez and have that be your next feud going into whatever the next takeover will be. All right, let's switch gears and talk about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Is it going to outshine WrestleMania? And I have been saying yes, yes, yes. You have Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. You have Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross for the NXT title. That is going to be a crazy match. You have the unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. That is not going to, I don't think that's going to end up main eventing night 2. Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez is main eventing night 1. I don't think that's going to end up, you'd have to think that that's got to be the main event of night 2, is O'Reilly and Cole. You'd have to think, but that means that Finn Balor and Karrion Kross are not main eventing a night, which is kind of shocking. You've got Johnny Gargano, who will be waiting for the winner of the most convoluted way to come up with a number 1 contender. They're having a battle royal to determine 6 men who will be in a gauntlet match on night 1, and the winner of the gauntlet match will face Johnny Gargano for the North American title on night 2. Did you take notes? Did you understand that? I'm a little confused too. You've got, I think, what could be the match of the weekend, of that entire WrestleMania weekend, is Jordan Devlin against Santos Escobar, NXT Cruiserweight Champion against NXT Cruiserweight Champion in a ladder match. Winner takes all. Jordan Devlin, he won the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and then the pandemic hit, and he was stuck over in Great Britain. Could not come over. Could not come back. So they determined they were going to have, a tournament to crown a new interim, and they kept pushing that it was an interim cruiserweight champion. And Santos Escobar has been the champion, has done a great job with it, has had some really good title defenses. And now Jordan Devlin is back, and ooh, man, that's going to be a fun match. But I think the match I'm most looking forward to the entire WrestleMania NXT weekend, that whole week, NXT UK champion Walter taking on Tommaso Ciampa for that NXT UK championship. That is going to be such a hard-hitting battle. My goodness. I don't know. I mean, Walter and those chops, old man Ciampa. Though it's funny, what was the comparison made? Ciampa and Roman Reigns are actually the same age. And you put a picture of those two side by side. Ciampa looks like he's about my age, with the graying hair, the longer beard, bald on top. And Roman Reigns with the, the dark beard, the dark flowing locks and everything. They're the same doggone age. Whoops. Oh, what happened there? I lost that. There we go. I hit a button and I lost something. But, we talked about the WrestleMania card, the NXT card. There's still going to be I think there's still going to be a couple things added in. Oh, we've got that triple threat, the triple threat for the vacant NXT tag team champions. It's going to be MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma to determine the new tag team champions. And I guess we could kind of throw this into week in review. It was announced earlier this week that Danny Burch separated his shoulder in that match. It was him and Oney Lorcan taking on Karrion Kross and Finn Balor a week ago on NXT. And Danny Burch separated his shoulder. He is out for at least a couple of months here. and they had to vacate the NXT Tag Team Championships. And William Regal making the smart move here, making it a triple threat with the final two from the Dusty Classic, the eventual winners, MSK, the runners-up, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma. Absolutely fantastic choice there. That is going to be a great match as well, triple threat match there. I'm sure we're going to hear about at least one or two more matches. There's going to end up having to be something for the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. They'll end up with somebody as their opponents. Not quite sure who it's going to be. Probably expect 5 matches on each night because that typically is what NXT does with their takeovers is 5 matches. Night 2 could end up only being 4 though, simply because you've got Balor and Cross. You've got the unsanctioned match with O'Reilly and Cole. You've got Johnny Gargano against whoever it's going to be. And I'll tell you, WrestleMania week's going to be crazy for me just simply because I'm going to be doing a multitude of different prediction shows on here. It's going to be nuts. Okay, I gotta throw this one up because it just came into the chat and I lost my mouse. Where'd my mouse go? Going back to the comment about hair, I bet Roman dyes his hair. Well, you know what? I would never call out Roman Reigns on it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We're not gonna go there. All right, boy. What else happened this week? Impact Wrestling. Well, let's talk a little bit about AEW. I have people calling me out all the time on TikTok that I am a WWE shill, and no, I'm not. I mean, I'm a big fan of WWE, but I love AEW too. I've come to love AEW, and Dynamite has really been a fantastic show, and this week was no different. We saw MJF and the first in-ring appearance of the Pinnacle. We saw Sean Spears and FTR taking on the team of the Varsity Blondes and somebody. It was the Varsity Blondes and somebody. Oh, one of the kids from Top Flight. I can't remember his name. I love that team, though. And a great promo from MJF. I can't wait to see what's going to end up happening. I think we're going to see Jericho and the Inner Circle come back, not next week, but in 2 weeks. I think they're going to come back on the same night as night 1 of NXT TakeOver. We'll see some sort of appearance from them because next week's Dynamite has been taped already. Don't know any spoilers. I try staying away from spoilers for Dynamite because I just don't want to see them. I don't want it to get ruined. If anything big comes out of it, then I check into it, but I try staying away from it. But I can't wait to see what's going to end up happening with that. But the main event was absolutely fantastic. We saw Darby Allin defend his TNT championship against John Silver, Johnny Hungy from the Dark Order. And it was great to see these two guys, especially John Silver, get a main event spot on Dynamite. It wasn't dark. It wasn't Dark Elevation. It was Dynamite. And they put on an absolutely fantastic match. Both guys looked extremely great. It was sad. I ended up watching it a second time. I watched it live and then I watched it through again after I had heard that John Silver ended up separating his shoulder and he's going to be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks. So fortunately, it's not a severe separation of the shoulder, but he will be at least out of in-ring action for 4 to 6 weeks. But the fact that he battled through at least another, I want to say 7 to 8 minutes, may have been 10 after he separated his shoulder. You could see when it happened. It was a spot on the outside that he went for, I think he went for a dive towards Darby Allin and ended up hitting the floor and hitting the outer guardrails. And you could see he came up and he was holding his shoulder and he was talking to the ref, and the ref ended up talking to Darby, letting him know what happened. But the fact that he was able to hit some big moves still with a separated shoulder. You could see at one point he tried popping it back in and it just didn't work. Just fantastic. Dark Order slightly getting involved, not too much. Then we get Sting coming out at the midway through the match to kind of push Dark Order off. Darby Allin getting the win in a great match. We saw the show of sportsmanship between the two, getting the fist bump, Sting helping John Silver up, and then Matt Hardy attacks Darby Allin. Then you get Butcher and Blade and Bunny come out. Dark Order gets involved. Private Party comes out, and out at the very end, I popped so huge for this. At the very end, right before the show goes off the air, out comes Ty Conti, and she just goes after the Bunny. And this is based on something that happened earlier. I saw it Wednesday Night Live. I didn't see the earlier match of Ty Conti versus Nyla Rose. I do want to talk about that in a minute. With the involvement of Hikaru Shida and then the Bunny afterwards, which is set up for a great tag team match next week. The Bunny and Nyla Rose taking on Ty Conti and Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion. But when Ty Conti came down and just started wailing on the Bunny, I went nuts. I was sitting in the same spot here, and I went crazy when that happened, because Ty Conti is quickly becoming one of my favorite women's wrestlers on the planet. She has been doing amazing things. They're saying that she is actually now the number one ranked woman in AEW, because she has racked up a number of great wins on Dark and Dark Elevation, and now the big win on Dynamite against Nyla Rose. So exciting to see what's happening with that. Her relationship with the Dark Order is growing because Anna Jay is one of her closest friends. Anna, who's obviously part of the Dark Order, but is out with an injury right now. And they've really been spotlighting her well. Another really good AEW show. We saw Kenny Omega, the AEW champion, at the beginning of the show, taking on Matt Sydal in a really good match. Sydal looking good. Don Callis drove me nuts on commentary, though. Kept talking about how Sydal, young up and comer, blah, blah, blah. I loved it when Jim Ross corrected him. They're like, you realize Matt Sydal is actually older than Kenny Omega, or they might be the same age. It was just great hearing good old JR smack down Don Callis. Then we saw the really fun promo of Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. Kingston selling the injury to his leg. Moxley talking about how he doesn't really trust the Young Bucks, but in a way he kind of does. They're kind of involved in this fight now with Kenny and the Good Brothers, so we know we're going to end up getting it soon. It's going to be Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers taking on Mox and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, who have turned their back officially now on Kenny Omega. The Super Elite is now dead, at least as far as a fivesome. I could see Kenny Omega bringing in somebody else to go along with the Good Brothers to kind of pad his numbers a little bit. We shall see. Things are starting to set up now, obviously, for Impact Rebellion, which was scheduled for Saturday, April 24th. But because of the huge UFC fight, Impact made the decision to move it to my birthday, Sunday, April 25th. And I did thank Impact Wrestling on Twitter for moving the Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann Impact versus AEW championship to my birthday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it, though, because I got quite a few things going on that day, but I'm going to make a valiant effort. And Impact Wrestling, if you're watching this, anybody from Impact watching this, if you'd like to gift a guy, a viewing of this, and I will do a full review of the show on my channel and on TikTok in exchange for a birthday gift, I'm all for it. Okay. I'm all for it. Ring of Honor last night had their 19th anniversary show. I can't really get into it because I didn't talk about the show. I didn't watch the show. I know there was a few championship changes there last night, and some interesting things that happened out of it. If you want to go check out the news, there's a lot of different news people on Twitter that have talked about it. One other thing I want to talk about real quick here is Andrade. Earlier this week, we found out, actually, it was 30 minutes after Fastlane ended. The news came out that WWE had agreed to the release of Andrade. He had requested his release about a week prior to that at Monday Night Raw, and it was denied. It was denied. And then he came out with a tweet last Sunday, basically saying he had good news. And I quoted it wrong. I said Buenos noches. It wasn't Buenos noches, but basically he was saying goodbye and that he had good news. And one of those funny moments of TikTok, I went onto TikTok, and I wasn't the only one that did this on Twitter too. I came out and said, hey, there might be good news coming the way of Andrade. There's a possibility he may have gotten his WWE release. Here's the tweet he sent out. That was literally minutes after he sent that out. And I got lit up by a guy on TikTok like, no, it's, he's not saying that. He's not going anywhere. He didn't get his release. Where are you getting this news from? Nobody else is talking about it. Well, trust me, all the major players in wrestling Twitter were talking about it. They were reporting it too. And I mean, he lit me up on multiple messages on TikTok and everything about it. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes after the main event ended on Fastlane, WWE officially announced the release of Andrade. And I didn't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. And, I put it out there, and boy, that guy shut up real fast. I love people like that. It was a fun week on TikTok, but Andrade did get his release, and the news came out. Wrestling Observer reported that there is no 90-day no compete clause for him. I think there were rumors going around. Nobody really ever clarified it, that Charlotte Flair had a lot to do with that. That, she was obviously very upset with how things were being handled, upset with the fact that he did not get his release, and they need to release him, and they need to give him a no compete clause if they want her to do certain things. That's all rumor and speculation right now, but it's pretty much been confirmed. Andrade confirmed to himself he does not have a 90-day no compete clause, so he can literally show up anywhere he wants right now. Though with Charlotte's positive COVID situation, obviously that puts things on hold for him for at least another week. Speaking of Andrade, we have to talk about his former business partner and manager, Thea Trinidad, Zelina Vega. Word came out yesterday, according to Wrestling Observer, that she has signed a short-term deal somewhere that is preventing her from signing a deal right now with AEW. Where is she going? We don't know if it's a wrestling deal. We don't know what it is. Obviously, it had nothing to do with Ring of Honor, because actually they had pre-taped their anniversary show. She did not show up there. It could potentially be Impact, though the story of her not being able to sign with AEW, if she signs with Impact, really doesn't make a lot of sense because they do have the partnership. It could be something non-wrestling related. I don't know. Hopefully we will find out in the next week here. I really want to see her and Andrade paired up somewhere. I really would love to see them show up in AEW together. Going to Impact wouldn't be a bad thing, because Thea Trinidad does have a history with Impact. He could end up going to New Japan. I really don't see that happening right now, though. He did have a history as under the mask as La Sombra in CMLL, but I don't think he's going to be going there because they're having a lot of issues down there. Though Andrade has admitted that, hey, I probably am going to go back under the mask again, which would be kind of cool. We shall see. No other details right now on what is going on with Andrade. Hopefully we will know more here in the next few days. I would love to see just a surprise appearance on not the next Dynamite, but what would be the April 7th Dynamite, which is their next live one against NXT Takeover-Stand and Deliver Night 1. Imagine him showing up. They don't pre-announce it. They don't say, hey, oh, we've signed Paul White, or we've got this potential Hall of Famer coming in. You just have him show up. Maybe he tweets a few things in surprise, whatever. He just shows up. And who does he go after? I don't know. I think he needs to be pushed as a main eventer up there right in the midst of things, which is why I'm thinking he won't be going to AEW, because they're not going to pit him against Kenny Omega right away. He'd have to go mid-card there, and if you're going to bring him in, the hottest free agent out there right now, he's got to be a main eventer. We shall see. I think that may be all we have for this week on Wrestlescope. But what I do want to talk about, a couple of things. This is actually my longest episode, and that's fine because I went kind of short last week. I felt a little rushed with the Fastlane predictions, which I got to figure out how I'm going to be doing things Wrestlemania week. It's going to be crazy. Probably will not be doing any coverage of Hall of Fame. Oh, actually, we got to talk about Hall of Fame. A couple of Hall of Famers announced this week. Kane, in what was a great moment on the bump this week, getting told by his old buddy, The Undertaker, that he is going into the Hall of Fame. The timing is very interesting. I think it happened this year for two reasons. One, because Batista pulled out. And I don't know if it was his decision or WWE's decision because of no fans being there. So I think that was part of the reason. But I think, too, Vince is kind of trying to help Glenn Jacobs out as he is running for re-election as the mayor of Knox County. I think he's trying to help him out a little bit with some mainstream publicity there, getting his name out, some free advertising for the mayor. We shall see. I've heard he's been doing well as the mayor of Knox County, so it'd be great to see Glenn Jacobs win re-election there. But he is going into the 2021 Hall of Fame class, as well as the Great Khali. And I don't know if Great Khali really deserves to go in. I mean, yes, he was a multi-time world champion. He was a huge ambassador for wrestling in India. But did he have a Hall of Fame career? I don't think so. I think WWE is doing it because of that whole India TV, 8 billion people over there getting eyeballs on things. So I think it's a shame that they announced Khali and Kane on the same day, too. I think Kane should have just gotten his day because he deserves it. Rumors are still flying around, and I don't know when it's going to get announced that RVD is going to be the other inductee for 2021. Paul Heyman kind of teased it on his Twitter. I think it was last night, saying that he's going to be doing an induction for somebody. So the official word's got to come out soon for RVD. I don't think they've announced a celebrity quite yet, and I'm not sure if they're going to go the celebrity route, simply because they're cramming 2 years worth of Hall of Fame inductions into one night. They're combining 2020 and 2021. So after RVD, will we hear of any other ones? I'm not sure. They're getting really close to kind of the end here. So RVD could be the last one. I don't know. We shall see. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the real big news this week in the world of wrestling. Do want to talk about a couple of other things real quick here. Do want to plug, I got to plug a couple of friends here. Especially if you follow me on TikTok, I am constantly talking about Wrestling Daily and Steph Chase. Wrestling Daily, Alex McCarthy does a fantastic show on YouTube Tuesday through Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. in England, at least for one more week. Well, it's always going to be 8 p.m. The times here in the States are going to change. But it's a great 1 hour show every single day, Tuesday through Friday. They do a Monday show after all the main WWE and AEW pay-per-views. He has Louis Dangor from Wrestle Talk as a co-host, SP3 from True Heel Heat, and Steph Chase. They do a fantastic job. They are so close. And actually, I need to look here real quick. I am going to, let's do this real quick here. If I can find it, I got to figure out if I can find it here somewhere, anywhere. They are getting really close to 10,000 subscribers, and I got to make sure they are less than 100 subscribers away from 10,000. So I have 90 subscribers on this channel now. I don't know how many of you that are subscribing to me subscribe to Wrestling Daily. But if you do not, it would be kind of cool if all of my subscribers on this channel that are not subscribers of Wrestling Daily went over there and I'm going to see, I'm going to try sharing. Which one is it going to share? Okay, you're going to kind of get to see some of my other tabs here, but that's okay. All right. That's it right there. Alex McCarthy's Wrestling Daily right there. You've got SP3, you've got Louis Dangor in the middle, and the wonderfully beautiful and talented Stephanie Chase there. But check them out. Yep, it is Wrestling Daily on YouTube. Please go give them a subscribe. Give them a subscribe. Hey, that's the first time I've shared a screen too. Look at that. I'm learning new things today. I love this. This is awesome. I'm having so much fun with this right now and getting to learn new things here on my channel. And oh no, I lost where did it go? Where did it go? Nope, that's not it. Darn it. I'm trying to do too many darn things here at once. All right. But yeah, definitely check them out. Also, go give them all a follow on Twitter as well. Wrestling Daily is at Rest Daily. Stephanie Chase is at Stephanie Chase, at True Heel Heat, and also at SP3 and at Louis Dangor. I'll put them in the comments after the show that you guys can follow all of them. So I did want to talk real quick here about things that are going on here with the channel. And I haven't done as much as far as content on this channel as I've wanted to. And for those of you that have been following me for a while know this is not my full-time gig. Wrestling is, I have a full-time job. Let's move the curtain real quick and give you a little behind the scenes on John. I'm a married husband and father of 6, 5 kids still living at home, very busy with the kids and the family. Lots of other things. I do have my day job that I work. I am involved in a number of other things with church and sports. So this little baby here of Wrestlescope kind of falls further down the list for me. It is a passion project of mine. It's something I've wanted to do for years and finally kicked myself in the butt enough a few months ago. Actually, it was June of last year that I started my Twitter channel, and it was, I want to say November of last year that I started TikTok, and it was within the last couple of months that I started this YouTube channel. And I've decided that this is kind of my year that I am really going to push more of what I'm doing here. I would love for this to become a full-time thing. But a lot of things have to happen to make that happen. You know, when you've got family, obviously you got to be making money on things. And as of right now, everything I do with this channel is my own time and my own money. Don't have anybody else supporting this right now. You know, Iron Jock is a partner and a supporter right now of this, but everything I'm paying for comes directly out of my pocket. So any streaming or any equipment or anything else I have is directly on me. Where I want to be with this, I want to be doing more content for you guys. I want to be able to provide the best possible content I can. And this is a very muddled, very congested community here when it comes to wrestling, because there's a lot of wrestling content creators on YouTube, and there's a lot of very good ones. Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select, he was the guest host on Wrestling Daily on Friday, and he spent about 5 minutes talking about just the great people that are creating content on YouTube right now for wrestling. And it's just amazing. And it's a great community, a lot of people helping each other out. It's all people that are doing what they love and following their passion. It really is hard to kind of crack into all that when people have been doing it for so long, or they've got resources of companies they're working for or groups they work with. And when you've got a guy like me that's that does it solo, that does it part-time, that doesn't have a lot of the resources and connections, it's tough. But I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to bring content to you folks. I am so thankful that I have 90 subscribers to this channel right now. Not where I envisioned where I was going to be at this point in time. I was really hoping for a lot more, but hey, I am thankful for each and every one of them. I've got just under 3,500 followers on TikTok. Again, not quite where I wanted to be at this point, but I'm thankful for each and every one of them. The community is great. I talk a lot about Wrestling Daily, and I love that community there as well. If there's anybody that are fans of Wrestling Daily that are watching this now, you guys know how much I love this community and how much I'm enjoying it. And especially Alex McCarthy and Louis Dangor have been absolutely fantastic to me, and have opened some doors for me and some opportunities, which I'm hoping are going to grow into bigger and better things. We shall see. As Alex said to me in a tweet, completely unrelated to what I'm talking about, but I take it to heart, is, don't do them wrong. Don't do us wrong. And I'm not going to. I'm going to keep doing this. I've got some big goals and some big plans for the remainder of this year. And as I've shared on here before, I'm not going to talk about them on air because I'm just going to do them. I'm going to do them. And then down the road, I'll talk about, hey, I was happy I was able to do this and whatnot. So definitely some things being worked on, definitely trying to do some different things. One thing I can tell you is I've decided, if you've gone to my link tree, I've got a Patreon page. I'm not asking anybody to become Patreons right now because the extra content is not out there right now. But I will be I'm going to almost be using it like a blog. So I will be posting some stories up there, some thoughts and some views on there that are going to be free to for everybody to view. If I end up with exclusive content, then I will make it paid Patreon only. But right now, I'm going to be starting to write some stuff and putting it up there for everybody to be able to see on the Patreon page. So you can go to the link in my bio on any of my social media, and you can find the Patreon page and head on over there and just like it, follow it. If you want to become a Patreon, that would be great. I'm actually thinking of just adding a very simple tier in there as well, where you're showing your support, that you are a fan of what I'm doing. And quite honestly, it may just be $1 a month. It may just be $1 a month. That's just your, hey, I love what you're doing. Here's this, keep doing it. So I think that's it. I've rambled here a little bit. Let me change the scroll here at the bottom so you can see. Again, check out there on the bottom. You can see all my social media. I am on TikTok at Wrestlescope TV. I am on Twitter as @TV_wrestle, and on Instagram at Wrestlescope. So thank you very much for tuning in to what has become the longest edition of Wrestlescope Weekly. I apologize to my podcast listeners if you're listening to the podcast, but hey, we had a lot to cover this week. Much more to come. Enjoy. Have a great rest of your weekend. And let me know in the comments too, do you like this 2 p.m. Central Time Saturday time slot? Because I'm thinking I might try doing this on a regular basis. Now, it could change. It could change when soccer season starts because after today, basketball season ends for me. I get 3 weeks off of sports, and then April 17th, we're right back in with soccer. And knowing my luck, we'll end up with a mid-afternoon Saturday soccer game coming up. So the 2 p.m. may not stick around. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll do my best. Again, if you're watching the replay, leave your comments. I will be responding to every single comment throughout the week. Thank you very much. I am John. This is Wrestlescope TV. Have a great weekend, everybody.